Tonight we're here to recognize 17 veterans for their service to our country. Celebrating our veterans and their families is what we do as a Legionnaire. Tonight is our 6th presentation of the Quilts of Valor, and by the end of tonight, we will have recognized 102 veterans at this post. None of that could have happened without the guidance, generosity, and the hard work of the ladies of the Smoky Hill Quilt Club. Welcome, ladies, and thank you.
Thank you.
How many former quilt recipients do we have here? Awesome, awesome. Thank you, and thanks for your service. I'd like to take a moment to recognize all the current and past officers of the Legion, the Sons, or the Auxiliary. Would you all stand up, please? I'm one. Wayne?
Sons and all of us, President.
Thank you. Chose one. At any rate, these are the people who work tirelessly to keep our doors open and ensure that the quality of everyone's experiences here at the post are good. Thank you for your dedication and hard work. Without further ado, I would like to turn the program over to Jan Weber, the ladies of the Smoky Hill Quilt Club, and the Quilts of Valor Foundation.
Thank you, everybody. And those of you who can, let's all stand, remove your hats, and let's say our pledge to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You can all be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jan Weber, and I represent the Quilts of Valor Foundation along with the Smoky Hill Quilt Club. The Smoky Hill Quilt Club is a group of about 100 ladies, some of whom are here with us tonight. And I want to thank them because without their hard work, I may be your talking head, but they're the ones that do all the work. And so I just want to introduce you to those ladies. First of all, I want to thank Barb Brown. Barb Brown has been a collaborator with Pappy for quite some time, and she's the one that got us started at this particular venue, and I want to thank Barb for having us here. Thank you. Yes, thank you, sir. Also, we've got Miss Amy Bishop, and we've got Miss Carolyn Kirchhoff, who is the affectionate quilt nut. If you saw the license plate in the parking lot, this is our quilt nut, former home ec teacher, and she's just a wonderful lady to have. And then our latest victim, I think I'll call it, her name is Audrey, and Audrey is here to help us wrap these wonderful veterans in this Quilts of Valor. So thank you, ladies, for being here and for helping me. Now, we're going to do things just a little bit differently tonight. We've got some people that are with the actual post who are going to read the bios to tell you a little bit more about every one of our veterans that are here tonight. So whenever we call your name, if you are able, if you can come up. If you have a little mobility problems, let us know and we'll get a chair and we'll have you sit and do this. But anyway, I just want to thank you all, every one of you, for being here tonight. The Quilts of Valor Foundation was started in 2003 by an incredible woman by the name of Catherine Roberts. Catherine Roberts was a mom, she was a quilter, and she was a nurse. And she was a very, very wonderful and loving woman. In 2003, she was getting ready to send her own son off to Iraq. Now, this kid came flying in one day and says, "Mom, Dad, I'm going to be a Marine. Can I hear an "Ayah" for the Marines? Well, isn't that what you do? I mean, hoorah, hoorah. See, I said it wrong. Can you tell I've never served? So anyway, Catherine Roberts' son was going to be a Marine. He came flying in one night and said, "Mom, Dad, I'm going to go serve my country, get my education paid for, see the world." And she was so excited because she was not, wasn't surprised. She came from a very long line of family members who had served in the military. So this was his choice, a branch. So as the days and the weeks got closer to his deployment, she started to see a change in her son. He was not that go get him kind of kid. Now he's becoming a little bit anxious. I think the magnitude of what he had signed up for now is starting to hit him, and the magnitude of what could happen. So Catherine saw this change in her son, and she wanted to do something, but she didn't know what to do. So she went to bed and she had a dream. And in the very first part of Catherine's dream, she sees her son. He's sitting on his bunk. He's visibly distressed. He's visibly nervous, shaken, everything. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, she's wrapped him in a quilt that she's made for him. All of a sudden, the whole demeanor of that young man changed. And now he's safe, he's secure. This quilt smells like Mom. It feels like home. Everything that you could imagine, the security and safety he felt by being wrapped in that quilt. Since that time, ladies and gentlemen, 377,000 Quilts of Valor have been awarded nationwide. And the Smoky Hill Quilt Club has been doing this work since about 2017. And I did some quick math before I got here tonight. And we've done over 700 quilts have been awarded just from our little Smoky Hill Quilt group. And I'm so excited and thrilled. Thank you. People ask me all the time, "Jan, well, what constitutes receiving a Quilts of Valor? Is it my MOS? Is it my DD 214? Is it my title? What makes me so special?" Ladies and gentlemen, it's none of that. The minute that you signed your name on that dotted line, giving over your hopes, your dreams, possibly your life to your country, the sacrifices that you made and the sacrifices that your family made is what qualifies you to receive a Quilt of Valor. Now we have, the hardest part of my job isn't making. You're going to see some beautiful quilts here tonight. And all of these ladies, each one of them has had a hand in either making a quilt, binding a quilt, long arming a quilt. They've touched this quilt in some manner. So every one of these people have touched this quilt. And we are so honored by our veterans that have allowed us. Our veterans are a very, very quiet group of men and women who really don't like a lot of attention called to them. And this is a big deal for those who have allowed us to honor them. And it's a bigger deal for us because we get the thrill and the excitement of seeing what a quilt can do. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite our first recipient up. And come on up. And we're going
Not
to...
me. Not me.
Not me.
Not me.
All right. Mr. Les Buren, are you here?
Years of service from 1967 to 1970. Les was a construction draftsman. His duty stations include Fort Bliss, Texas, Fort Belvoir, Virginia, Kaiserslautern, Germany, and Pleiku, Vietnam. Citations and medals awarded to Les include the Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal, the Vietnam Service Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Expert Rifle Medal. Les was involved in drafting for the 32nd Air Defense Command in Europe and the drafting of the roads and plans in Vietnam.
Mr. Buren, on behalf of the Quilts of Valor Foundation and your family and your friends, it is with great privilege that we honor you with this Quilt of Valor. Thank you.
The Quilts of Valor Foundation wishes to recognize you for your service to our nation. We consider it a privilege to honor you, though we may never know the extent of your sacrifice and service to protect and defend the United States of America. As an expression of gratitude, we award you this Quilt of Valor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Les. Another round of applause for Les, please. Next, we have Ferris Sedler. Miss Ferris Sedler. Her branch of service was the U.S. Navy. Years of service was from 1980 to 1987. Jobs included communications specialist dealing with the teletype UHF and VHF platforms. Stations that Ferris served were the Naval Training Center in Orlando, Florida, Naval Base in San Diego, California, NAVCOMSTAT in Naimakri, Greece. Naimakri. Oh, I knew I was going to butcher something. And she also served on the submarine tender USS LY Spear in Norfolk, Virginia. Her citations and medals include top secret security clearance and received the Naval Letter of Commendation.
Ferris Sedler, the Quilts of Valor Foundation wishes to recognize you for your service to our nation. We consider it a privilege to honor you. That we're never going to know the extent of your sacrifice to protect and defend the United States of America. It is our pleasure to recognize you with this quilt. And I have to tell you one other thing about this particular quilt. Every year at the Arapahoe County Fair, we have little children that we have machines all set up, and they come and they make a block for our veterans. And we don't always get to give every one of them away at the fair. So this is a very special quilt, and in this little package, you've got this little key with it just warms my heart. All the children have made a little card, and their names are in this quilt. So thank you so very much for letting us honor you.
Next, we have Frank Muntz. Frank. Welcome, Frank. Frank served in the U.S. Army from 1963 to 1965. Jobs include Army infantry. His stations began at Fort Benning, Georgia, and was combat infantry in Vietnam. The citations and medals awarded to Frank included the Vietnam Service Medal, the South Vietnam Unit Citation, the Cross of Gallantry Presidential Unit Citation, National Defense Service Medal, Combat Infantry Badge, Sharpshooter Badge for Rifle and Mortar, and the Good Conduct Medal.
It's the Quilts of Valor Foundation wishes to recognize you for your service to our nation. We consider it a privilege to honor you, though we may never know the extent of your sacrifice in the service to protect and defend the United States of America. As an expression of gratitude, we award you this Quilt of Valor. Also, we're giving each individual a pillowcase. This pillowcase was used only to bring it here to you tonight. We want you to use your quilt, have picnics on it, but don't ever put it back in this pillowcase.
Next, may we have Cisco Martinez. Cisco Martinez, also of the U.S. Army, served from 1967 to 1969. Cisco was a crewman on the 155 Field Artillery Howitzer, whose duty stations began at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and then later on Republic of Vietnam, and then back to Fort Hood, Texas. His citations and medals include the National Defense Service Medal, the Vietnam Service Medal, the Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal, 2 Bronze Stars, and the Rifle Sharpshooter Medal.
Mr. Martinez, it was such a delight to award you, sir, this Quilt of Valor. Thank you so much.
Next, Jerry Archeleta. Hi, Jerry. Jerry served in the U.S. Navy from 1976 to 1997. Jerry was a naval weapons systems technician. He worked on torpedoes, cannons, and naval bomb systems. Jerry served on the nuclear cruiser USS Truxtun, the destroyer Tender, USS Samuel Gompers, and the guided missile frigate USS Crumlin. Jerry also served at the naval bases all over the globe, including during his 21-year tenure of service. If everyone would please stand, I think we owe Jerry a great deal of our appreciation for his service. 21 years, please, as a U.S. Navy sailor. His citations and medals include the Navy Commendation Medal, 10 Sea Service Awards, 3 Battle Effectiveness Awards, the Meritus Joint Service Award, Expert Rifle and Pistol Medals, 5 Good Conduct Medals, and the National Defense Service Medal. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, sir, for your service, and welcome home.
Gerald Thinkink. Gerald Thinkink served in the U.S. Air Force from 1948 to 1952. 1948? Wow. You look great. Gerald was an aircraft and aviation report clerk typist. He served at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas, Chinook, am I saying that right? Chinook Air Force Base in Illinois, Naha Air Force Base in Okinawa, Japan, and Scott Air Force Base in Illinois. His citations and medals included the Army Occupation Medal, Japan, and the Good Conduct Medal.
It's our pleasure to award you this Quilt of Valor. Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. I
You are.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to make an announcement. For those of you that don't know what I'm doing, I'm representing the Colorado Patriot Guard Riders. I'm giving away thank you for your service pins. And for those that served in Vietnam, we give them a welcome home pin because it's never too late.
Next, we have Betty Romero. Ventura Romero. There you are. Hi, Benny. His branch of service included the U.S. Navy from 1956 to 1962. He served as an aviation electrician on the North American FJ-4 Fury and the Grumman F-11 Tiger fighter jets. Benny served at Naval Stations Great Lakes, Illinois, Naval Station Miramar, California, and aboard the aircraft carrier USS Lexington. His citations and medals included receiving the Golden Dragon and Shellback Award certificates and the Good Conduct Medal.
On behalf of all of us here tonight, sir, your family and friends, we award you this Quilt of Valor. Welcome home.
Next, can we have Kenny Long-Fritz? Kenny. Kenny served in the U.S. Air Force from 1982 to 2003. He served as a signals production specialist and as a first sergeant. While beginning at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas, he made his way on to Misawa Air Base in Japan, RAF Chickstands, United Kingdom, Sumbach Air Base in Germany. I'm gonna butcher this one, I'm sorry guys. Heraklion Air Station in Greece. Fort Meade, Maryland, Osana Air Base in Korea, and Pope Air Force Base in North Carolina. Kenny is a true patriot. He served this country for 21 years. If you could please stand up again and please give him a round of applause. And because I know you're curious, his citations and medals. He was awarded the Defense Meritus Service Medal, the Meritus, it's a lot to say, Service Medal with the Oak Leaf Cluster, the Joint Service Commendation Medal, the Air Force Commendation Medal with 3 clusters, the Joint Service Achievement Medal, the Air Force Achievement Medal, the Combat Readiness Medal, 5 Good Conduct Medals, the Southwest Asia Service Medal, and the Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, sir. Here's another one of these very, very special quilts the blocks were made by the children at Arapahoe County. So I give this little key to this gentleman as well. So thank you, sir, for your service and welcome home.
Thanks.
May we have Mr. Paul Martinez Jr. Paul Martinez Jr. served in the U.S. Army from 1979 to 1982. Paul served as a track vehicle maintenance supervisor. While beginning at Fort Knox, Kentucky, went on to Mainz Army Depot in Germany. Wow. Citations and medals include the Expert Rifle Medal and the National Defense Service Medal. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Martinez, the Quilts of Valor Foundation wishes to recognize you for your service to our nation. We consider it a privilege to honor you. Though we may never know the extent of your service and to protect and defend the United States of America, this is an expression of our gratitude. We award you this Quilt of Valor.
Thank you.
Do we have Robert or Bob Kramer? Bob Kramer? Hi, Bob. Bob served in the U.S. Army from 1968 to 1969 as an admin specialist. His initial duty stations was Fort Dixon, New Jersey.
Dix.
Sorry, Fort Dix. Fort Lee, Virginia. And his medal and accommodations included the National Defense Service Medal and Good Conduct Medal. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Next is Todd Herod. Todd. Todd served in the U.S. Navy from 1988 to 1992 as a damage controlman, firefighter, and as a hull technician. His duty stations began at the Naval Training Center in San Diego, California, the U.S. fleet activities at Yokosuka, Yokosuka, did I say that right? Kuska, Japan, and aboard the guided missile destroyers USS Towers. Citations and medals include the Navy Expeditionary Medal and the Navy Sea Service Deployment Ribbon. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you. Thank you for your service and welcome
Thank you so
home.
much.
Next is Gary Shaver. Gary Shamer, branch of service, U.S. Army. Served from 1969 to 1971. Gary served as a fire direction and air traffic control specialist. He was an advisor to the Vietnamese 1st ARVN Division. His duty stations included Fort Benning, Georgia, Fort Sill, Oklahoma, Vandergrift Combat Base in Quang Tri, Vietnam, and Khe Shan Combat Base, Vietnam. Citations and medals include the award of the Vietnam Service Medal, the Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, and qualified with the M16 rifle and the 12-gauge riot shotgun. Thank you, Gary.
On behalf of all of us here, the Quilts of Valor Foundation so wishes to recognize you for your service to our country. We're never going to know the extent of your sacrifice to protect and defend the United States. As a gratitude from a grateful nation, so we award you this quilt. This is also a quilt that was made, the blocks were made by the children of Arapahoe County.
Barry Tellini. Barry. Hi, Barry. Barry served in the U.S. Air Force from 1985 to 1991, and he served as a military and security police. He was a member of an emergency service team including SWAT and counterterrorism activities. He also guarded nuclear weapons. Duty stations started at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas, the RAF Alconbury, England, Carswell Air Force Base, Fort Worth, Texas, and Kunsan Air Base in South Korea. Citations and medals: Barry received 2 Air Force Commendation Medals and 2 Good Conduct Medals. Thank you, Barry.
Barry, and welcome home.
You'll be warm.
James Scoville.
Come on, Jimmy.
Hi, James. James was part of the U.S. Navy from 1964 to 1968, and he served as a radar electronics and cryptologic Cryptologic technician. Wow. Jim served at Naval Base Great Lakes, Illinois, Patuxent River Naval Air Base, Maryland, Naval Weapons Station Earl, New Jersey, Naval Support Activity Saigon and Da Nang, Vietnam. Jim also served on the destroyer tender USS Archeleta. Citations and medals include the Naval Air Medal with Star, National Defense Service Medal, the Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal, and the Vietnam Service Medal. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, Jim.
All right, Jimmy.
Okay.
Never too late, brother. Welcome home.
Okay, thank you.
Next, may we have David Rochelle. David?
Come on, Dave.
Dave served in the U.S. Air Force from 1971 to 1974 as a weapons control systems and radar technician for the F-4 Phantom jet. Dave served at Lackland Air Force Base, Texas, Lowry Air Force Base, Colorado, Luke Air Force Base, Arizona, and Kunsan Air Base, Korea. Citations and medals include the Korean Defense Service Medal, the Good Conduct Medal, and his NCO of the Month award got him a ride in one of the F-14 Phantoms. Thank you, Dave.
We don't want you to fall.
Well, I'm not going to fall.
Okay, Mr. Rochelle, we want to thank you for all that you did for our country. Welcome home, sir.
I'm not doing well.
I got these. I'll take the table.
Next, James Rogers, or affectionately known as Jimmy. Jimmy served in the U.S. Army from 1987 to 1993 and worked as a military policeman and prison guard. Jimmy served at Fort McLean, Alabama, Fort Shafter, and Fort DeRussy, Hawaii, and Fort Avalanche, Kuwait, Iraq. He was part of a mobile prisoner of war camp that relocated constantly. His citations and medals included receiving the Operation Iraq Freedom Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, and was MP rated for rifle, pistol, and hand grenade. Wow.
They award you this Quilts of Valor.
And if I can entice Andre and his wife to please come up. Andre Muten.
Say it again.
Andre? And his wife. I was specifically told to ask for his missus. Andre served in the U.S. Air Force from 1988 to 2010. He served as a B-52 bomber, radar navigator, evaluator, operations officer, and bomber section chief. He also served as a squadron commander, a deputy operations section chief, and air advisor. And finally, a deputy division chief at the Pentagon. His duty stations include serving at Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana, Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska, Anderson Air Force Base in Guam, and the United States Air Force Headquarters in the Pentagon at Washington, D.C. I would really appreciate it if everyone could stand one more time, please, on your feet for this man. Thank you so much, Andre, for your 22 years of service. His citations and medals included being awarded the Defense Meritus Service Medal, 3 Meritus Service Medals, 2 Air Medals, Air Force Achievement Medal, Joint Meritus Unit Award, Southwest Asia Service Medal, Afghanistan Campaign Medal, NATO Medal, and the Kuwait Liberation Medal. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just an American hero who has dedicated 22 years of his life to our freedom. And I think he deserves a huge round of applause. So thank you, sir.
On behalf of all of us here, we want to thank you so much for your service to our nation. We're never going to understand your sacrifice to protect and defend the United States of America. As an expression of our gratitude, we will hold you in Quilts of Valor. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I'm so excited. I get to ride the high for the rest of the day and the rest of the weekend now, to be able to award 17 quilts to these gentlemen and this wonderful young woman. I want to thank you all for being here. Freedom isn't free. Everybody, there's people that pay the price. Some are still paying the price. I tell people all the time, you know, I never have served, and it's only because of you and you and you and you that I enjoy the freedoms that I enjoy today. And every day, as the world gets more into chaos, I recognize how important your work was and the work of your family. Just say to each one of you, these quilts are to be used, just like Carolyn said, please don't put them back in the pillowcases. This is not a work of art. This is a work of love. We ask you to make the memory with your quilt. We ask you to throw it on the floor, make a picnic, talk to your children, talk to your grandchildren about what it is to be free. Thank you. God bless everybody here tonight. Thank you, ladies, for being here. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
You want another joke? I'm out of them, and thank you. I want to thank everybody that came out tonight. It's wonderful having you at the post. We love having guests. If any of you would like to join the post, see me after the ceremony here, and I'll get you an application. Once again, thanks for being here. Ciao.
You outnumbered your.
I know. I like it. All right, look over here.
At least today.
Thank you, sir.
Look at me.
And I feel
All right. Whiskey.
I'm such a true.
Always on the bottom. Is that enough clicks?
We got everybody?
Yes.
Not a clicking.
Thank you,